Just for randomness, here's a picture of their guard cap. Hello everyone. Today we are putting an overdrive unit onto the C6 transmission I rebuilt for the Ford service truck before we put the motor back in. The reason why I'm doing it is because that Dana 70 rear end dually axle in the back has got some stupid high toe gear. It's like 411 or 453 gears, something that'll make the 460 scream a little too high. It's geared a little too much for me. So because we stripped the 400 block out and put in a big block 460 in here, it's got enough capacity. It can turn that overdrive unit just fine with everything in the back. It'll have more than enough horsepower for that deep low end torque that will be just fine. I quasi know how this goes together. I've never done one of these before, so join me as we figure out how in the blue and blaze we put this thing into a C6 transmission. I will note, I think at the end I got to take my driveline into the shop and they got to chop it and shorten it up a little bit because you're adding an additional foot and a half on the end of your transmission. Right, let's go ahead and put it together. Hopefully right the first time. Doing this on the shop floor. Why not? They say it couldn't be done, but we can do it. We have the technology. Oh yeah. All the technology belong to us. But it's strictly on loan. We gotta give it back. Oh look, it's still clean. Clean service of main travel where stock tail heli was. Yeah, it's clean. Lubricate bushing and seal. The kind of say they supplied adapter with white lithium grease. Perfect, I'm out of that. I don't feel like spending all that money on that nonsense. So I'm just going to use some assembly gooage. Inside here, there's a coupler that kind of pushed out a little bit. So it rides on these teeth right here. I'm going to actually take it out so we can actually lubricate that bronze bushing in here a little bit better. Well, I thought I was going to. There we go. So I get this, goes right in here, right? So this couples onto here, right? Then the moneymaker device gets attached right here. That gets bolted up there. And then there's your output shaft yoke. Go ahead and lube up that bronze bushing inside of there. I am using some ATF, so it's a little bit liquefied already, but it still has some assembly goo in it. There we go. Keeping with the tradition that more lube is not enough. This coupler has different depth. Notice how that's a shallow, and that's deep. I'm presuming, because this guy's long, the long end goes on here. And our short shaft is going to go right here, obviously. Like that. So make sure you reinsert it right. So I'm going to put a little bit of lube in here in the teeth as well. Lube everything up. Lube it all up. All right. Okay. So now what we're going to do, let's see here, make sure the orientation is correct. This is going to go in out, like thusly thereof. And you find the gasket for this. Right here. Let's go. I know that gasket I put on there is new, but the kit comes with one. Might as well use it. Instructions state, this can be dry when you put it on there. You don't have to put any RTV silicone gasket on there. But do make sure your mounting surface is not covered in cat litter. There we go. Now, let's see here. like butter. Tool tight. So now what we need to do is we need to set the clearance between the coupler and the output shaft tail housing here, right where the overdrive unit mounts to. Now, this is the diagram, right? This is what we're facing right here. We need to put a straight edge across it, measure it with the feeler gauge, and if it's not within specifications, 0 to 15 thousandths, we need to shim it up on the inside of that coupler, basically pull it out, put some shims in it, put it back in, you'll see in a second. Bish bash bosh, get it in specs, and we should be good to go. The shims are, looks like these guys right here. You simply put it on the inside of the coupler. So let's go ahead and, oh no, don't dump. Okay, so first of all, make sure it's all bottomed out. Take straight edge, and simply, I got mine set at maximum of 15 thousandths. Take a look, and yeah, no, that's like a 40 plus thousandths. You can see that gap right there. It's just, yeah, no. So we gotta put some spacers in there. Or some shims, you machinists want to call that. So, instructions say we put it on the inside of the coupler. Inside the coupler, which is the output transmission side. Which now I can't even grab that because it's so slippery because some idiot lubed it up too much. There we go. What we'll do is simply drop them in there. Okay, maybe not. There we go. All right, let's give that a go. Okay. Bottoming it out again. We might be over a few thousandths. Yeah. I can just barely rock it. If you can, I don't know if you can see that or not. I could just rock the level, which means we're in the negative territory, not the positive territory. So we are under zero clearance. Okay, so we had 3 shims in there. We're going to take one out and go with 2. Yeah, right. Okay, I got 2 out of 3 shims extracted. Go ahead and delete one of them. Put the other one back in with that one. So now we're running on 2 shims. Let's see if that does anything. Now where are we at? Well, I barely visibly see a gap, so we should be good to go. Okay. Holding this fairly tautly. It's not 0. Let's see if we can actually figure out what that clearance is now. I'll go with 10 thousandths. And there is a slight drag on there. Yeah, I'm gonna call about 10 thousandths of an inch. Coupler is within specifications now. There's a flat top, ever so slight flat cut there. And the output shaft housing is just flat enough there. Well, I guess we'll call that right side up. You know, it might be better if you just stick it on this side. Who's in charge around here? Want to lube up, of course, the splines as well. and install. Hopefully the transmission won't flip backwards. There's a lot of weight back here. Oh, of course you won't go on. Oh wait, sorry, output shaft. There we go. Nice. Shark didn't say 6 to 9 foot-pounds on these little guys. Are we there yet? I would do this with an impact wrench, except knowing me, I went wrong and probably grind off all the very fine threads on here. Especially that I don't play with power tools during this portion of the program. Excellent. So for the final bit, if you guys are curious about the speedometer cable solution, remember our original cable adapter comes through the tail housing here, and the new output for your speedometer comes back here after your overdrive gear set, right? Now when you order this from gear vendors, they automatically program it to whatever gear ratio you've got in the back 40. In this case, I think my gear set's 411. It's not a 450 or a 460. I think it's just a 411 gears. That gets programmed, so your speedometer cable will be right. You got rubber O-ring. It just goes in basically right there. Comes with a cheater speedometer cable. You would screw that down. Basically, this is your signal generator. This is for the computation device for the actual black box for the gear vendor unit. Plug it into here, and then this is where your stock cable would be, your stock speedometer cable would be hooked back up to. But we'll do all that later when it's actually in the vehicle. It'll be a lot easier, and I'm not going to lose as much stuff and not have to worry about risking make an absolute disaster of it. And there you go. One overdrive unit ready to rock and roll on the C6 transmission. It'll definitely help keep that motor spinning a lot slower, not wearing it out as fast. I'm not going to be pulling Mount Everest with it every time. So an overdrive unit, I definitely wanted to put one on there. We're pretty much ready to wrap up this episode. The cylinder heads, my machinist has them in case you didn't see my community post. He says by the end of February I should see them back. So hopefully there won't be too much drama with that. He says there shouldn't be. Just for randomness, here's a picture of their guard cap. We might have an episode for the Chrysler New Yorker in a couple of weeks for a tune-up episode. The transmission pan that actually has a drain plug I ordered will be coming. By the time that gets done, hopefully our cylinder heads will be back from the machine shop and I'll be able to put the 460 and this transmission back into the service rig. And I'm really hoping that I'll be able to start recording a lot more content for you guys so I can pack all my junk around with me. So in the meantime, I'm going to sign off for now. Thank you everybody for watching, and we'll see you all later. That box wasn't going to take much more abuse. Here's the back on up. I get in the shot. There we go. Right now in here is a coupler. I'm gonna take my headphones off so I'm actually not yelling at you guys. But we are talking this one's actually Yeah. My towels. Window, stay there. Da, 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 da. That show up better? Oh, yeah, it does. Now for the last bit, for the gears vendor overdrive, remember your... No. And there you have it. One overdrive unit ready to rock and roll in the C6 service truck transmission for your service box. And there you have it. One gearbox, one overdrive gearbox. She's a very good kitty. Hopefully in a couple weeks we'll have a tune-up episode for the Chrysler New Yorker. We're currently waiting on a transmission pad. Pad. Pam.